Do you guys want to get involved in having fun and potentially changing someone's life? Then tune in to the 24-hour gaming live stream on the 11th of July at 12 noon BST, that's 4 AM PST, and get involved. We're going to be playing CSGO, GTA 5 and other games, so please set a date in your calendars and load up your Steam accounts. Twitch name is on your screen now. Enjoy the video. Alright guys, the Google Pixel was an absolute hit last year, featuring more on TV than TV itself, but just how does it stack up this year? Hi guys, my name is Ryan Thomas with Failtech and this is the Pixel in 2017. The only real standout issue that I can think of is the fat glass panel on the back that can crack fairly easily, so maybe put a skin or a case on it? I don't know. This phone came out just 8 months ago and is clearly meant to compete with the iPhone 7 at the same $599 base price off contract. However, if you really dig on eBay or the local version of Gumtree, you can pick it up for just half of that. So for the design, it's a love or hate relationship really, with a metal and glass design that can leave you wondering what drug the designers were on when they came up with this. I mean, I do love the long sweeping chamfer along with the grey finish, but I don't like the random glass in the middle. I think it should either have been glass or metal, and neither do I care for the huge and rather seemingly pointless chin on forehead. There aren't even any front buttons or even speakers, so why is it this big? I do like the fingerprint scanner placement on the back though, and I do like the headphone jack up top too, but it's very subjective, the design, as Kelsey really liked the look of it, which is fair enough. It's a decently small phone too, with one handling being a piece of cake, and it's very pocketable, neither of which you can say about one of its predecessors, the Nexus 6. What a beast that thing was. The screen is one of the Pixel's best features. At 5 inches is a 1080p AMOLED panel that I adore. If you want QHD, just go for the 5.5 inch XL model. The AMOLED panel gets bright outdoors and makes everything look beautiful, and stock Android is already beautiful, so it makes it seem even more aesthetically pleasing. Its 5-inch form factor was really good enough for watching videos and playing games, and it's a nice sweet spot for the general consumer, as only us proper nerds enjoy a 6 or 6.5 inch display, yet fewer and fewer people are into the 4-inch form factor such as the iPhone SE. The 441 pixels per inch pixel density figure means that the display is very sharp, as sharp as you'd really need it, and a smidge more than 35% more sharp than the iPhone 7's display if we're counting. This is, from my personal experience, the best shooter on a smartphone to date. Pixel sports a near as makes no difference 12 megapixel camera with f2 glass and EIS. The low light performance is meant to be amazing, but I do feel like it's not as good as the hype says it is. However, the shots I got from this phone, I had to save and back them up because they just look so good. The videos that came from this thing look like they've been shot on gimbals. They're UHD 30fps and also 720p at 240fps for you slow-mo freaks, and they look great. The UHD video especially, with that gimbal-like stabilization, is fantastic, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with this device shooting photos and video. In fact, do check out my Instagram for test shots. I actually used Instagram way more with this phone. I rarely upload once a week now. As for the secondary camera, we have a rather sharp 8 megapixel camera with f2.0 glass and the ability to shoot 1080p video at 30fps. Like pretty much every flagship nowadays. You're getting a nice sharp camera, but it's not super wide like Samsung phones. The Snapdragon 821 and 4GB of RAM in this thing is rapid. This thing is so quick and responsive, it's crazy, and you won't have a single problem with running through social media applications, which is what you'll probably do. I mean, a super powerful quad core and 4GB of RAM to browse Facebook and Instagram? Yeah. Multitasking is a breeze, as well as playing games and watching videos. This is the smoothest experience I've ever had in terms of Android, and I would say it's actually quicker than the iPhone 7, which is really rather impressive because I've never been able to say that about an Android phone. The software is probably the reason to buy this phone though. It's stock 7.1 Android and it looks amazing. The experience is so smooth and quick and seamless, but the aesthetic is also amazing, and I really just like the look of material design in stock Android, which Google has been leaning towards, or rather dive bombing in like Tom Daly does a big boy swimming pool. The 2770 mAh cell is made even better than it would have already been by the stock Android OS, which will continue to be supported for several generations, which means that this phone should last a couple more years yet. I got around 4 to 5 hours of screen on time, and due to the AMOLED display, if you switch most things in your UI to black, you'll even boost that. I managed to get a solid amount of usage whilst watching videos and using social media apps, but I didn't really play too many games in my testing. The speaker setup on this device is pretty poor, with a bottom firing mono speaker that is pretty poor setup considering previous two Nexi had stereo front firing speakers, but at least it works. I mean, it's not as bad as the Nexus 4 speaker, so I suppose it's got that going for it. The ports include a 3.5mm headphone jack as well as a USB 3.0 Type-C connect, which makes fast file transfer and quick charging possible. The rear mounted fingerprint scanner is quick and accurate just like the Nexus 6P, and you can also get the super cool swipe down feature for notification shade. There's no real water or dust resistance here, which is disappointing considering the similarly priced compatible competitors had IP68 and 67 water resistance, but this doesn't. So in conclusion, I think this is a rather future-proof phone, at least for a good 2 or 3 years, that will last a long time on stock software. I think it's crazy and the fastest phone I've ever used for sure. Faster than the iPhone, and I'm excited to see what Google shows off this year though. Maybe a less random design, hopefully. Thanks for watching guys, please do like or dislike, comment and subscribe depending on your thoughts of the video and the phone itself, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.